some information about Egypt, as sphinx, pharaohs, and pyramids. But today, we are going to give you more and interesting information. You know that Egypt is located in the northeast of Africa, but you don't know that Egypt is the most popular in Arab world and the third most popular in Africa. Most of wooden boats sail down in the Nile River, as it sails in the Egyptian city which is Aswan. Where does the name of Egypt come from? It comes from the Greek Egyptus, and Egypt was originally named by Memphis.
Here is a part of things you don't know about the Egyptian. Who discovered the 365 days of the calendar? Yes, the ancient Egyptian. The ancient Egyptian invented the 365 days of the calendar to predict the yearly flooding of the Nile River. Cairo is the largest city in Africa and the Middle East. Its population of 22 million and approximately 500 square. Let's go to the pharaoh's part. The pharaoh's history was a secret until a scientist discovered the Rosetta Stone. It was a very important discovery, but it was an accident.
Now we will move to the third part, which is the sudden things or unexpected things. 1. Ancient Egypt produced the first prosthetic lamp, a tool composed of leather dated between 950 and 710 BC. The best places to visit in Egypt. 2. Yet mummification was an expensive and time-consuming process, reserved for the more wealthy member of society. 3. We all know that Cleopatra was a queen, but we don't know that Cleopatra wasn't Egyptian. While Cleopatra was born in Egypt, she traced her family origin to Macedonian, Greece, and Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Greatest generals. What is Egypt known for? Egypt is known for the 4,160-mile-long Nile River, Sharm el-Sheikh, and of course it is known for its ancient history museum, pyramids of Giza, mummies, and the Great Sphinx. The Egyptian flag contains 3 colors, which are red, white, and black. The red color represents a bloody struggle against other countries. Black color represents operation that I got rid of thought-out history. And the white color is a symbol of peace and a bright future for the country.
Egypt, the Egyptians' history was a secret until we discovered the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone was a discovery and was an important discovery. The discovery of the Rosetta Stone was an accident too. Napoleon Bonaparte was in Egypt with his army. Major Poncard, one of Napoleon's majors, sent his men to dig a trench, and one of them found a serious stone. It had 3 languages on it. They called it the Rosetta Stone because it was found in a place called Rosetta. It was discovered on July 19, 1799. It was sent to Napoleon, and he sent it to the Cairo Museum so they could analyze it. They figured out that one of the 3 languages was hieroglyphics, another Demotic, a late form of hieroglyphics, and the third was ancient Greek. The text was the same text in 3 different languages. This was exciting for them because now all they had to do was match up the 3 languages so they could figure out the secret of reading it. Hieroglyphics or it. But it was a lot harder than they thought, so Bonaparte sent the Rosetta Stone to a man in France to decode. His name was Jean-Francois Champollion. Jean-Francois Champollion was a man to finally decode hieroglyphics. He He worked for years trying to decode the Rosetta Stone, but he finally made his discovery by decoding a cartouche. A cartouche is a name in hieroglyphics with a circle around it. He decoded the name and he was so excited that he rushed down to the library and told his brother, who worked there at the time. The date was September 14, 1822. Champollion discovery was very important for understanding the history of ancient Egypt. The Rosetta Stone has taught us about ancient Egypt history. We never knew so much about it. Egypt, all historians knew before the Rosetta Stone was discovered, was that Egypt was a great and powerful people. We never knew how advanced Egypt was. They had created the first form of paper. They knew how to build advanced structures such as pyramids. They even had a form of sunscreen. Other things they came up with include irrigation, eye makeup, nail polish, a calendar, a plot, pre-ments, polling, door locks, and toothpaste. We never would have known what ancient Egyptian life was like unless the Rosetta Stone was discovered. The Rosetta Stone was an invaluable discovery. The accidental discovery was made by a soldier digging a trench. It took ages to decode, but Jean-Francois Champollion was the one to figure it out. But now, because of the discovery, we know so much about ancient Egypt. I think the Rosetta Stone was the most important discovery for knowledge about the ancient Egyptians.
Egypt has one of the largest and longest histories of any country, tracing its heritage back to the 6th and the 4th millennia BCE. Considering a cradle of civilization, ancient Egypt saw some of the earlier developments of writing, organization, organized religion, and central government. From the 16th to the beginning of the 20th century, Egypt was ruled by Persian powers, the Ottoman Empire and the British Empire. Modern Egypt dates back to the 1922 when it gained independence from the British Empire. British occupation naturalized the British-held Suez Canal. The Egyptians were one of the first major civilizations. Cleopatra was a famous queen and was described as a woman of unparalleled beauty who was wonderfully to look at, and her picture on coin. The word pharaoh means the great house. When the word was first used, it was actually referring to the place and grandeur of the king, and not as referring to the king.
How did King Tut die? From an infection at age 19. The infection was possibly the result of broken leg. However, a full scan of his body in 2006 found the damage to King Tut's occurred after his death, due to bad handling of his mummy. The most famous touristic places in Egypt are Pyramids of Giza, Luxor Karnak Temple, the Valley of the Kings, Islamic Cairo, Aswan, Abu Simbel Egyptian Museum, and White Desert. The top main museum in Egypt is the Egyptian Museum, which has more than 120,000 items. The second famous Egyptian museum is the Grand Egyptian Museum, also known as the Giza Museum. Is an under construction museum that will house the largest collection of ancient Egyptian artifacts in the world. It has been described as the world's largest archaeological museum. The museum was scheduled to open in 2015. World's oldest dress was found here. 5,000 years old. How cool is that, right? Egypt may be home to the world's first fashion house. I wonder if they had their own brand as well. Greater Cairo is the largest city in Africa and the Middle East, with an estimated population of 22 million and approximately 500 square kilometers. Cairo is the largest city in Africa and Middle East. Egyptian women had a wide range of rights and freedoms. While they may have been publicly and socially viewed as inferior to men, Egyptian women enjoyed a great deal of legal and financial independence. They could buy and sell property, serve on juries, make wills, and even enter into legal contracts. Egyptian women did not typically work outside the home, but those who did usually received equal pay for doing the same jobs as men.
Egypt has one of the oldest civilizations in the world. It has been in contact with many other civilizations and nations and has been through so many years. Starting from prehistoric age to the modern age, passing through so many ages such as Pharaonic, Roman, Greek, Islamic, and many other ages. Because of this wide variation of ages, the continuous contact with other nations and the big number of conflicts, Egypt has been through at least 60 museums may be found in Egypt, mainly covering a wide area of these ages and conflicts.